Hello everybody, Jokertone here, and welcome, finally, finally, finally. About a couple days ago, we were given the first episode of Power Rangers Dino Charge, like a week early. I think it came out like this past like Thursday or Friday or something, and on Nickelodeon's website. Um, and and this is for, I guess, a discussion for another time. But to put it simply, I kind of hate when Nickelodeon releases episodes of Power Rangers early before the air date, only because now, mind you, along with my schedule, I won't be able to watch the new episodes on Saturday mornings at 12 a lot of the time because my work schedule changes, and sometimes I'll be at work at that time, sometimes I won't be. But and there's probably a lot of people who also don't won't be able to watch the first airtime of the new episodes that come out. Now, I've got nothing wrong with putting the episode, like, say if they release, say next Saturday they release the first episode of Power Rangers Dino Charge, and say we haven't seen it yet, say we've only gotten the teasers and a few pictures and stuff. That night, if they posted it on Nick.com, that's fine because it's already aired. It's been given a chance to kind of get those viewings, those views that it needs to do well. Now, I'm saying this because, don't get me wrong, uh, I'm going to be watching it, the first episode, again. I've seen it like 3 times, but I'm going to be watching it again when it airs, because what I hate is, I hate when Nickelodeon puts out these episodes early, like a week before or something. And this isn't just a recent thing either. They did it with a couple times with Samurai through Super Mega Force. So it's not like this is the first time this situation has happened. Sorry, I just took a sip of water. And to me, I feel like if and I'm not saying everybody, I feel like when you watch it online and see the episode through Nick.com, that kind of says, okay, well, I've seen it, now I don't have to watch it Saturday morning. And that kind of ruins the views, I guess you could say. I don't know if they have a meter for how many times the person watches it on Nick.com. To maybe that kind of adds into it, which is why they maybe do that. But for me personally, it just takes away from the experience of seeing a new episode when it's supposed to be aired, which is Saturdays at 12. Now, I've seen the first episode already, and I'm sorry I kind of broke into this review of the first episode with that little rant, but which I'm going to potentially do a video on in the future, discussing things like that. But as of right now, this is solely episode 1 of Power Rangers Dino Charge, Powers from the Past. Now, something that I loved a lot about this episode, and hope it continues in this fashion. But one of the things that I loved about this episode is that it didn't start off with the Rangers themselves. It didn't start off how they've pretty much done things from Ninja Storm to Super Mega Force, where they open the episodes with exposition. I don't think they did that in Mystic Force or Operation Overdrive, or Jungle Fury. But no, I just love that they didn't have the narrator guy opening. Well, mind you, this was only the first episode. That could still happen second episode and on. But for this, we don't get that. We don't get that, and hopefully it stays that way. But going into that, it basically took the whole episode. Well, not the whole episode, but a good chunk of the episode, and devoted it to backstory of where these energems come from, how they get on Earth, why the dinosaurs are connected to them, and things like that. Keeper, as I hope we see him again, we probably will. I'm already liking him more than Gosei. Definitely prefer him. He's not like annoying either. Sure, the way he talks kind of reminds me of Yoda from Star Wars, and his size and stuff. But No, I really liked Keeper. I thought if he does become a mentor, the mentor, like later down the line in the season, um, I'd be all for it. You know, he seems like he knows his stuff. I kind of hope they dig into it a bit more where they came from, because when it started, it just kind of made it be him ending up on Earth with the Energems and then having the villains chase him to Earth. So I'd like to kind of see maybe what planet they came from. Maybe they can delve into that if they have time. Um, but yeah, no, I enjoy Keeper. I hope he becomes the mentor or some key character down the line. Um, let's see what else. But no, that was one of the big things that I liked, is that I liked how they actually gave us legitimate backstory, because that was very very lacking in Super Mega Force and Mega Force. There was absolutely like no plot in those two seasons other than, hey, alien invasion coming to destroy the Earth, go fight them. That's pretty much all Mega Force and Super Mega Force was in a nutshell. Let's see what else. Let's see. We talked about that. Oh, the theme song. Theme song is, there's a link down in the description I'm gonna have in this video, and I love it. Like honestly, I love the theme song. It's new, but it's got key verses from the original Power Rangers, Samurai, and Super Mega Force. But at the same time, it also feels like its own fresh take. I feel like the tone of it is more like jungly and like Jurassic-y type thing going on. So that's good. And they don't do their names in the roll call. Oh my god. One thing that always, to me, the intro is something that gets you hyped for the show. And honestly, in Samurai and Megaforce, when they said their names during the intro, when their names popped up with them, it ruined it for me. And when I saw and heard the theme song for the first time, and saw that they didn't say their names, I was like, yes, thank you, Saban, thank you. Um, but no, it's a very good intro. I've listened to it over a dozen times in the past couple days, and yeah, there'll be a link for that in the description. As for the episode like itself, it's very weird how I would review it. It's very, it's hard to explain. Like the first like 10 or so minutes, it talks about like the backstory of where these energems come from, and we see the villains who honestly, they took all the Sentai villains except for the main one and used them. And honestly, I don't really like Sledge. He doesn't really seem that great. Well, to be honest, really none of the villains do. They really didn't have a great first outing. Fury is a terrible friggin' henchman. Um, but what I will say is that I kind of got like a Rita and Zed vibe between Sledge and, I think her name's like Poisandra or something, or Poisonandra or something, and Fury as like kind of like a Goldar-esque type individual. Like I kind of got that vibe as the episode was going, and we had a little bit with them, but nothing like too substantial. You know, they're bounty hunters. They're looking for the keeper and the energems, and yeah. Um, so yeah, and then after that, I don't know how. Like I don't know where they went, but after the kind of flashbacky backstory type thing, they're kind of gone. You really don't see them in the future, other than Fury for a little bit. But yeah, and really the only main Rangers we got focused on today on that episode was Red Ranger Tyler and the Pink Ranger Shelby. We also saw Chase the Black Ranger and Coda the Blue Ranger, but they really didn't have too much in terms of lines and stuff. We got a little more Chase than Coda. Coda, I feel like, is just kind of not going to have too many lines, if that. But no, we got to see that Chase is like smug. He's like the cool guy, and kind of dumb. And we also got to meet Kendall, who I guess is going to be like the scientist or something. I have a feeling she's probably going to become the Violet Ranger down the road or something. One of them. So there's that. Kind of play off the Super Sentai scientist girl. I forget her name, but her dad or granddad was like the Violet Ranger, and he passed down the powers to her. But yeah, and then Tyler is he gives us some backstory where he's looking for his father because he went missing like 10 years ago, and there's a picture of Fury in his dad's journal. So already episode one, and we're already getting like a good amount of backstory for some of these characters, and it's just it was really well done. Like I said, it's hard to review because I got a weird vibe from this episode, but probably because how different this episode was. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. But no, but and having Judd Lynn come back as producer instead of Jonathan Zacher, it's a lot better. It's he did Turbo through Time Force and RPM, so he did a lot of the good seasons, and so as producer back here, we can expect a good amount of uh, good story and characters and stuff for this one, and it's a series that I'm looking very much forward to. That doesn't make any sense, that sentence. But yeah, I think that's all in all. That first episode was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the rest of the series. I'm very much so looking forward to it and seeing where this story leads us, where these next kind of 2 years will lead us. And I'm hoping that it improves more so and gets us into a pace that's not like Samurai or Megaforce, where characters are characters, story has good story, and villains. I mean, aside from the villains not having a really strong start, I think that's my only major flaw, is that they really didn't have that great of a first outing. Um, but for what it was worth, it was still pretty decent, and